Thank you. Yes, Gautam, we can go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I am Toastmaster Gautam, your sergeant at arms for this meeting. Welcome to Dubai Toastmasters Club meeting number 693. Now, the mission of the Toastmasters Club is to ensure that all members develop their communication and leadership skills and in the process gain greater self-confidence and a growth in personality. Um, let's see. To do this, we will provide a supportive and positive learning experience to empower said members using the 4 values of Toastmasters International: respect, integrity, service, and excellence. Now, along with these 4 values, we also have the taboo topics that we do not speak about, these being politics, sex, and religion. Kindly refrain from speaking about these topics as we would like to respect the sentiments of the region. Now, I would like to request that all of you mute yourselves throughout this meeting unless you're invited to make a speech. If your camera is on, please refrain from any unnecessary movements which may be a distraction to the speaker or anyone else in the room. You may also choose to switch off your camera. If you happen to be driving a vehicle, connecting here would be a bad idea as these meetings are not really worth that kind of risk. Uh, this meeting will be recorded and it will be made available on social media. If you wish to have audio or video of yourselves to not be featured, please send a mail to us at toastmasters7492@gmail.com. With that said, sit back, relax, enjoy the meeting from the comfort of your home, and let's welcome our president to open this meeting, Toastmaster Sagar.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gautam, for a wonderful opening of the meeting. And now we are having annual debate contest for our club. I can see a lot of stress and lot of sweat on participants now. Lot of so they are preparing very tirelessly from last few days. Thank you. So good evening and a warm welcome to all of you for our 693rd meeting of our Dubai Toastmasters Club. We are pleased to be able to welcome to those of you that have been with us for a long time and as well as for who are very new to the group. Welcome to one of the most valuable platform where you will learn public speaking, communication skills and leadership and many more. I officially declare the meeting number 693 to be open. As I can see, we have a lot of guests today. So for the benefit of guests, I will be sharing some key informations about Toastmasters. And let me share my screen first. You can see my screen. Give me a thumbs up, Saleh, if you can see. Thank you. So welcome to meeting number 693. Starting from Toastmaster International, it was started by Dr. Earl Smetley in 1924. So just last week only we have completed 97 years of Toastmasters. Their headquarters in our Colorado, USA, and we have more than 3 lakh members in 149 countries, having in 15,800 clubs. Only in UAE we have more than 150 plus clubs and 3,000 plus members. Now recently made our CEO Daniel Rex, and our international president is DTM Margaret Page. Now there are different districts in Toastmasters and different regions, and we belong to region number 11, district 105, division B, area 20. These are our international leaders, starting from international president DTM Margaret, DTM Shehbaz Ali, our region 11 director, Gurvinder Singh Khan, our district 105 director, DTM Rajita, our division B director, Toastmaster Anita Biju, our area director, and Toastmaster Sagar, myself, president of TTC Club. These are our superheroes, vibrant EXCOM members who are working tirelessly to make all these meetings successful. Let's start from VP Education, Toastmaster Devi, our VP Membership, Toastmaster Noora, VP Public Relations, Toastmaster Misha, our treasurer, Toastmaster Pizza, our secretary, Toastmaster Sabil, and Sergeant Arms, Toastmaster Rashmina. Let's talk about our club, Dubai Toastmasters Club. Why people join Toastmasters? There are not only to become speakers, there are a lot of many reasons to become Toastmasters. You will become better communicators, you will become leaders, enjoy unlimited personal growth, you can maximize your potential, build leadership skills, and many more. And this is an education program from Toastmasters. We currently have 11 pathways and one more additional pathway has been also added. So there are a lot of benefits from doing these pathways. Like I will give you some examples like building skills, increasing knowledge, management, confidence, public speaking. The Dubai Toastmasters Club was started in 1996 on 1st April, completed 25 years, more than 25 years now. Dubai Toastmasters Club is second club in UAE and mother club of the Northern Emirates. We have members who have experience of more than 20 plus, and there are newly joined members who just joined last week only. We are not having formal or professional meetings every time. We have a lot of theme meetings, celebration, annual get-togethers. So we are having a fun session also. Currently, our membership fees are 7.
Ashit, don't forget that pointer where you're
for 1 year.
Million input, but talk about the 100 million also, which are killed in a year for animal testing, because we have to make sure that difference.
Devi, can you mute yourself? And 450 dirham for 6 months, and we have a one-time registration fee which is of 75 dirham. And for becoming member of this prestigious club and becoming a Toastmaster, you can contact our VP membership, Toastmaster Noora Al Jasrasi. These are our some glimpses of 25th anniversary we celebrated this year. Well said by Ralph Smetley. We learn best in moments of enjoy. Thank you. So there's some key information about the guest, and we will be sharing some more information with the guest after the meeting also. So let me welcome our dignitaries present today. Let's all give a round of applause to welcome DTM Colonel Murad. Our debate moderator DTM Ramesh. If I miss anyone, so I will welcome all DTC members and guests. So let's start from taking some feedback and some introductions from the guest from where they come to know about our DTC club and what they are actually looking for in Toastmasters. So I will request any guest who can come up and introduce themselves. Maja, our guest Maja. I think he's there. Hi Maja, you are on mute.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Okay, so sorry guys, because I stuck a little bit late at work, so I did not wanted to miss the meeting. So I actually were listening to you guys, but that's why I close my video and I mute my microphone because I'm literally driving. So I'm really glad to see you guys again, and I want to welcome all the other guests. And as well, I'm looking forward to the meeting. I'm almost like 5 minutes far away from home, so I will join you properly and I will attend this meeting. So I just want to greet you all.
Thank you, Maja. I hope you reach soon and enjoy our meeting. Thank you.
See you guys. See you in 5 minutes.
Yeah, sure. Any other guest would like to introduce yourself? Anyone? Okay, so I think, okay, so I will request other guests, they can introduce themselves in the chat box and we all will have your introductions and you can also share your contact number. So we will be, our VP membership will be in contact with you after the meeting. So let's move forward. Now I will be welcoming our champion, trendsetter. He has been a Toastmasters. He's joined Toastmasters in 2007, and he has taken so many leadership roles that I was counting, and there are so many. So let's all welcome the senior vice president with Fly Dubai and one of the I have seen best Toastmasters in our club, leader, and so many words. I'm speechless for him. So let's all welcome all together and a big round of applause for our debate motor DTM Ramesh.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sagar. And dear D-Chaps, welcome to the annual debate contest of Dubai Toastmasters Club. Today, there will be two contests. The teams are A, B, C, and D. There will be first contest between Team A and Team B. The second contest will be between Team C and Team D. We will have the winning teams from each of these contests, but the team which will be representing Dubai Toastmasters Club will be the best 3 debaters from both these contests. Please note, it is not the winning team. It will be the top scoring debaters who will represent the club in the area contest, which will happen on the 5th of November. I'll just go through some of the rules of this contest. The timing rules of the speeches are as follows. And I request Toastmaster Saleh. Saleh, have you become the co-host yet? Yes, I can see it. And as I announce the timings, can I please request Saleh to indicate those colors, please? For the opening and rebuttal speakers, green will come on at 2 minutes. Saleh, thank you. And amber will come on at 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And red will come on at 3 minutes. And the speaker will be muted at 3 minutes and 10 seconds. For the closing speakers, green will come on at 1 minute, amber at 1 minute 30 seconds, and red at 2 minutes. The speaker will be muted at 2 minutes and 10 seconds. In case of any technical issues, there will be 30 seconds time for the participant to join in. In case the participant is not able to join at the end of 30 seconds, one of the remaining team members is expected to start from where the previous speaker was that stopped and complete their speech. There will be 30 seconds silence between the speakers for the judges to mark the ballots. I request the timer to indicate to me with a red indication at the end of 30 seconds. All the debaters are requested to keep their videos on during the entire debate. Please, I'm going to repeat this. All the debaters are requested to keep their videos on during the entire debate, even when you're not speaking. Other than the debaters and the timer, all members of the audience are requested to keep their audio and video on mute during the entire session. Chief Judge, can I request your permission to kick off the debates?
Yes, DTM Ramesh, you may start.
Thank you very much. And let's start off with the first debate. I request the Zoom master, as I announce the participant names, to spotlight them here. On Team A, the opening speaker is Toastmaster Ati. The rebuttal speaker is Toastmaster Minesh. And the closing speaker is Toastmaster Oba. And the Team B, opening speaker Toastmaster Rashid, rebuttal speaker Toastmaster Nora, and closing speaker Toastmaster D. Can we have the others speakers also spotlighted and the timer also. Thank you. We have all the speakers spotlighted, and I'm going to call the speakers in the order. And the order is going to be, we will start with the opening speaker for the team proposition team, followed by the opening speaker of the opposition team, followed by the rebuttal speaker of the opposition team, and the rebuttal speaker of the proposition team, closing again the closing speaker of the opposition team, and ending with the closing speaker of the proposition team. The topic of the debate is animal testing should be banned. Animal testing should be banned. I would request the opening speaker of the proposition team, Toastmaster Ati, to unmute and repeat. Say the statement, I love debates.
I love debates.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ati. You are audible and visible. Your time starts now.
Dubai Toastmaster Club members and guests, great evening and hope you will enjoy this debate. Animal testing should be banned. Why? Because first, it's unethical. Animal testing is cruel and inhuman. The Animals Welfare Act has not succeeded in preventing horrific cases of animal abuse in research laboratories. There is increasing demand of cruelty-free products. Jonathan Smith, in his research paper called Can Biotechnology Reduce Animal Testing in Medicine, mentioned in depth about that in April 8, 2009. Also, the second reason it should be banned because it is archaic. Alternative testing methods now exist that can replace the need of animals for testing. Also, it's a bad science. Animals are very different from human beings and therefore makes poor test subjects. We are not 70 kg rats, 105 kg in my case. Animal tests may mislead researchers into ignoring potential cures and treatments. Animal tests do not reliably predict research in a human being. And finally, it is wasteful. Drugs that pass animal tests are not necessarily safe. Physician Committee of Responsible Medicine did a research on that in 2005, and they prove that it's a failure. Most experiments involving animals are flawed, wasting the lives of animals subject. And because of all of that, animals testing should be banned. Over to you.
Thank you very much. We'll have 30 seconds for the judges to mark the ballots. Request the timer to please indicate to me at the end of 30 seconds. Thank you. We will have the opening speaker, the team opposition, Toastmaster Rashid Hussain. Toastmaster Rashid, please say, I love debates.
I love debates.
Thank you very much. You're audible and visible. Your time starts now.
Fellow Toastmaster and dear guests, good evening. We as a team believe that animal testing should not be banned because of various reasons. The main could be animals are sharing similar DNA as humans. Also, they are sharing similar diseases as humans, like cancer, diabetic, and heart diseases, etc. First of all, we will check what is the definition of the animal testing. As per the Oxford Dictionary, doing scientific tests on animals to develop new products and pharmaceutical drugs is known as animal testing. It is not prohibited. It is a legal test under the Food and the Pharmaceutical Drug Act in various countries around the globe. So they should not, but it should be there with some ethical reasons, and it should not be for cosmetics and for circus purposes. So, but we as a team believe that animal testing should be for the bigger causes, not for the development, development of bigger causes like development of the cures, diseases, and not for the cosmetic and circus purposes. We should not be cruel to animal and should use animal as a and should use animal whenever it is really required. So over the period of time, as we discussed that animal testing is legal, so they have different countries develop different laws, regulations, and processes, like a thumbnail that reduction, replacement, and refinement. So reduction means that reduce the number of the specimen, and replacement that use the alternative, but alternatives are not similar, and like stem cells sometimes we are using, so it is not similar. Also, there are 200 animals, 200 million animal on daily basis using for the food purposes. If we include the aquatic animal, the number increased to the 3 billion animal per day. So we can feel the difference. While for test purpose, only 100 million animals per year are using. So we can see how much the big difference is there. So all in all, animal testing should not be banned, and it is for the betterment of the human.
Thank you. We'll have 30 seconds for the judges to mark the ballots, please. Timer, please indicate to me at the end of 30 seconds. Thank you. We will have the rebuttal speaker from the team opposition, Toastmaster Nora. Please unmute and say, I love debates.
I love debates.
Thank you very much. You're audible and visible, and your time starts now.
As my team member said, we do oppose the fact that it should be banned, and you come with different ideas and say that it's cruel. I mean, how is it cruel? But life is cruel. When a bacteria comes and attacks our bodies, when a virus out of nowhere we can't see comes and destroys the whole world, as we saw in the pandemic, and it shut the millions of lives of everyone around. I mean, life is cruel in the end of the day, but we could do something better about it. We can actually prevent from this cruelty to develop on a mass level. Animal testing isn't a cruel practice. It is a controlled practice to overlook scientific projects or experiments for the betterment of human life and animals in general in the end of the day. So it's quite ironic for me to hear also that you say animal testing is actually misleading. How does it mislead scientists when we can make vaccines out of it, when we can do all these remarkable advancements in medicine, and then you say it's not safe and it's a failure? If it's a failure, why is it in the news? Few days ago, a pig kidney transfer has been first person life successfully transferred to a human. Was that possible before? No, definitely, because a pig's kidney is very different than a human kidney. But yet again, we genetically modified that kidney and we put it on a brain dead human. Is that cruel? Well, the family allowed it because they do appreciate the science behind it. And there are so many other animals that just share the same DNA. 98% of our DNA is shared with mice. Can you believe that? And we cannot waste that away. But you say we waste animals. How come you say we waste animals when 200 million animals are being killed every day, yet 100 million is only sacrificed in a year? And we're not talking about every animal. As my team member said, they are refined. So specific animals in controlled settings of anesthesia, they have to be compliant and necessary for such testing to follow on. So in the end of the day, it is part of life and our responsibility to advance medicine for the welfare of humans and animals altogether.
Thank you. We'll have 30 seconds for the judges to mark the ballots, please. Thank you. We will have the rebuttal speaker from the team proposition, Toastmaster Minish. Please unmute and say, I love debates.
I love debates.
Thank you. You're audible and visible. Your time starts now.
Very good evening, members of the House. Animal testing should be banned. Our worthy opposition started their arguments by stating that animal DNA is similar to human DNA to support animal testing. But my opening speaker clearly stated that there was a study done by Nivea in 2013 that specifically studied that animals are very different from human beings and therefore make poor test subjects. Therefore, we strongly disagree with this. Our worthy opponents further went on to give us definitions of our subject matter, particularly the word banned, which was mentioned as not prohibited, which we again strongly disagree because the definition of banned is officially or legally prohibited. So therefore, we're not entirely certain if the opposition understand what this topic is truly about. Because when we further on their arguments, they decided to agree with the proposition. They stated that animal testing should not be used for testing. Animals should not be used for testing in cosmetics. We should not be cruel to animals. These were statements made by our opposition. And we as proposition support this. We should be cruel because they're archaic methods of testing. Our opposition also went on to say that stem cell research or new technologies are not good. But we find it hard to believe as the credibility is not very strong. There weren't any supporting documents. In fact, Britannica in 2007 did a study to show that you can use human DNA on a petri dish to perform the exact same test. And this was in 2007. Think about how quickly technology moves. We are in 2021 right now. So definitely it's possible nowadays. Opposition also said that 200 million animals are used for food, the food industry, and only 100 million are used for testing. Only 100 million after you state that you shouldn't be cruel to animals? Isn't this 100 million just wasteful when you have technology that can be used instead of testing on animals and destroying those lives? Think about it. If we have technology that we can use to replicate these tests without putting animals in danger, the only reason that they exist now is to be cruel to animals, which our opposition doesn't agree with it as well. So in conclusion, we believe that our opposition has proven that they in fact support our argument that you shouldn't be cruel to animals and you should in fact ban animal testing. Therefore, I urge the House to support us in animal testing should be banned.
Thank you. We'll have 30 seconds for the judges to mark the ballots. I would request all the participants again to make sure that the videos are on during the entire debate, not to mute their videos. And I request the Zoom master also, I kept losing Toastmaster Oba from the spotlight. Please make sure nobody is removed from the spotlight. Thank you. Thank you. We will have the closing speaker from the opposition team, Toastmaster DV. Please unmute and say, I love debates.
I love debates.
Thank you. You're audible and visible. Your time starts now.
Good evening, my dear fellow Toastmasters and worthy opponents. We urge the House to stand by the motion that animal testing should not be banned, and the reasons have been explicitly explained by my opening and rebuttal speaker. My opening speaker gave a beautiful definition of animal testing from the Oxford Dictionary, which has mentioned that animal testing is used to test and get vaccines and other pharmaceutical drugs to find cures for life-threatening diseases like cancer and diabetes. We reiterate, especially for the benefit of our worthy opponents, that we stand for the motion that animal testing should be used for these causes to find vaccines and cures and save millions and millions of humans and animals, and not for unethical purpose like cosmetics. If animal testing can save millions of lives, then why not? The definition also states that it's a legal requirement under legislations in every country, and the ethical constraints mentioned are mentioned in the regulation. He further mentioned the treatment, the ethical treatment, which is given in the 3 R's: reduction, replacement, and refinement. Reduction, where they reduce the number of specimens; replacement, where they replace by technology; and refinement, where they refine the process. So as much as possible, wherever applicable technology is used, but in cases where it can't be used, that is when animals are used, because as my rebuttal speaker also said, that our DNA of animals closely resembles human DNA, as much as 98% as in the mice. My opening speaker brought a very good point that 200 million of animals are killed each day for food, whereas 100 million animals are killed in a year for animal testing. So we rather eat and lock ourselves in a gastronomical diet rather than use them for a worthy cause, saving animals and humans and animal life. Based on these points, in order to advance medicine and to save the lives of our brothers and sisters, please stand for the motion that animal testing should not be banned. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you. We'll have 30 seconds for the judges to mark the ballots, please. Thank you. We will have the closing speaker from the proposition team, Toastmaster Oba. Please unmute and say, I love debates.
I love debates.
Thank you. You're audible and visible, and your time starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I will just talk a bit more about what my colleagues have already mentioned earlier about why animal testing should be banned. We all know that currently we are already involved in actually killing a lot of animals by eating it every day. The least we could do is actually make animals go through a human treatment from human beings by making them go through tests, go through a lot of pain, and at the same time, actually at the end of the whole testing phase, kill this animal. This is very inhumane. This is very inhumane, and at the same time, it's more like genocide into animals. Now, in addition to this, even though we're still going through a lot of testing with animals, which is actually archaic, which we can actually talk more about it with COVID-19 situation where we actually have to go through the human trials. With all these previous experiments that has been going on, we know like animal testing is actually not implementable in the current phases that we have. And because of what is going, and especially with the recent situations which has been already talked about by the rebuttal, about why it's already a law in almost countries. If it wasn't a law, then it wouldn't be needed for animals for a law to be established because of this inhumane situation, and because it's already archaic and there is already much more sustainable ways to actually implement testing, either for medical product or for like a cosmetic treatment. And that's why I strongly believe that animal testing should be banned. Thank you.
Thank you. We will have 2 minutes of silence for the judges to finalize the ballots and pass it to the chief judge on the tally counter. And during the time, I would be sharing the participation certificates for all these participants and request all of you to give a virtual applause for all our participants. Toastmaster Abdulati, Toastmaster Minesh, Toastmaster Oba, Toastmaster Rashid, Toastmaster Nora, and Toastmaster DV. A big round of applause for all these wonderful contestants. Thank you very much. That brings us to the end of the first debate. While we wait for the judges to complete their tally, I would request the Zoom master to spotlight all the contestants of the second debate, and while we await the go-ahead from the chief judge. Can we have the following contestants spotlighted, please? Toastmaster Manish, Toastmaster Nisha, Toastmaster Kaja, and the opposition team, Toastmaster Devinder, Toastmaster Mohammad Rashid, and Toastmaster Rashmi. Thank you. Chief Judge, we'll wait for you to give us a go-ahead before we start the next contest. And while we are waiting for the judges to wrap up their scores, I missed out introducing the chief judge of today's contest. Chief judge for today's contest is distinguished Toastmaster Soumya Rangarajan. She is one of the very senior members and a very dedicated Toastmaster as that. And personally, she is my friend, philosopher, and guide not just to me, but for so many people, at least in Toastmasters. So a big round of applause for DTM Soumya Rangarajan for helping us out today.
Thank you, DTM Ramesh. Should we move on to the second debate? I've received the ballots from all the judges.
Thank you, DTM Soumya. The motion on the floor for second debate is violent video games should be banned. The motion on the floor is violent video games should be banned. I'd request the opening speaker from the proposition team, Toastmaster Manish, to please unmute and say, I love debates.
I love debate.
Your audio is not very clear. Can you please repeat?
I love debate.
Your audio is still low, Toastmaster Manish. Can you just check?
You can listen now.
Yeah, the volume is not very great. Can you attempt to increase your mic volume?
Hello.
Yeah. Please say, I love debates.
I love debate.
So your audio is very, very low.
Audio is low.
Very low. Can you just attempt just with, if you're having a laptop, just the laptop microphones, remove the headsets. Can you say, I love debates?
I love debate.
Oh, this is much better. We can just leave it as it is. Yeah, you're audible and visible. Your time starts now.
Okay. The subject is violent video game. Did I heard the word violent? I can say with utmost my confidence that no one in this meeting would be a advocate of violence or promoting any kind of violence. Violence is a menace that has rattled the society over the year. Many of great leaders have sacrificed their existence to bring the world peace and harmony. I totally disapprove to promote any kind of violence in the name of entertainment. Do you know why most people are addicted to this PUBG, Call of Duty, Manhunt? Because they provide a desire to kill someone. The desire to kill save the game. Do you know that by 2021, a gaming industry is expected to reach 230 billion turnover? And there is also studies say that half of the video game is violent based. There are 2.69 billion gamer all over the world. And study also conducted that the gamer age between 18 to 25 spends approximately 20 hours per week. The playing video game can be the source of entertainment, but violent video games are significantly increased. The aggressive behavior, health-related issue, poor social skill, high blood pressure, depression. There are n number of side effects, spending a number of hours in violent video game. I totally agree with the statement of Patrick Dave, he is a senator of Texas. He said that we had a gun before, we had a gun, we had an enemy before, but this video game has teach younger to kill. I totally disapprove, and it has to be stopped, substantially reduced. That has to be begun now. Thank you.
Thank you. We will have 30 seconds for the judges to mark the ballots, please. Toastmaster Manish, you can mute yourself now. Thank you. Thank you. We will have the opening speaker for the opposition team, Toastmaster Devinder. Please unmute and say, I love debates.
I love debates.
You're audible and visible, and your time starts now.
Good evening to all judges and members of the House. Violence, as per Oxford Dictionary, means a behavior involving physical force intended to hurt, damage, or kill someone. It is recognized as a complicated social problem, but the much bigger conversation is the cause, and that is the real thing. There is no single version of violence. It can take a lot of forms, like physical violence, emotional violence, psychological violence, sexual violence, and so on. Violent video games should worry us, but shouldn't be banned. The argument and the myth that video games cause violence is undermined by research and is unpersuasive. We can all agree that parents are the best arbiters of determining what is right for our children. Craig Anderson was a lead author of a survey who carefully analyzed the results of 130 studies on video games violence. His findings were quite clear. The size of effects noted in these studies were very small and statistically and socially insignificant. In other words, gaming violence isn't the major cause of real-world violence. It is probably like a catalyst to warrant the concern. All the more so because while many things can provoke aggression, even non-violent games can do the same thing if they are frustratingly difficult to play. According to FBI statistics, youth violence has declined in the recent years as computer and video game popularly soared. We do not claim that increased popularity of games caused the decline, but evidence makes a mockery of the suggestion that video games cause violent behavior. Government agencies like the Federal Trade Commission has found that 87% of parents were satisfied with video game ratings. Discovering that a person committing a crime plays violent video games is no more illustrative. It's just simply saying that what happened to wear if someone starts wearing sneakers, or who used to watch the popular series like Sesame Street. Banning video games also raises a constitutional problem. In 2011, the Supreme Court recognized the video games are protected by First Amendment. The court emphasized that video games frequently communicate ideas by telling interactive stories and allowing players to interact in the virtual world. True, many video games can be violent, but not all. In the hierarchy of societal issues, violent video games are at the bottom of the page, bottom of the list. Me and my team strongly urge you all to think on this, and we strongly stand against the motion violent video games should be banned. Over to you.
Thank you. We'll have 30 seconds for the judges to mark the ballots, please. Thank you. We will have the rebuttal speaker from the opposition team, Toastmaster Mohammad Rashid. Please unmute and say, I love debates.
I love debate.
Thank you. You are audible and visible. Your time starts now.
Fellow Toastmasters and my worthy opponents, good evening to all of you. From the beginning, my worthy opponent got everything wrong. He started by stating the proposition incorrectly, that violent video games is the proposition. I would like to reiterate that the proposition of today is that the violent video games should be banned, for which we as a team strongly are against. My worthy opponent started by saying that any kind of violence is not promoted. And we agree with that. Any kind of violence is not promoted and should not be promoted. But is that the reason why violent video games should be banned? Violent video games does not promote violence. Then why it should be banned? Then he went on to say that people play violent video games for a desire to kill someone. Totally disagree. It is such a weak argument. They play violent video games. People play violent video games as a source of entertainment. And violent video games are used in military as a simulation for training purposes. And who said it is about violence? Who said it's about a desire to kill someone? It is about survival. It is not about killing. When you play violent video games, it helps you to learn how to survive. So why to focus on the killing? Focus on the survival part. That is what it promotes. Then he went on to say that in an age group of between 18 to 25, 20 hours per week, video games are played. But is that a reason why it should be banned? Okay, you reduce the number of hours, but it should not be banned. That is the whole point here. Then my worthy opponent said, it promotes aggressive behavior. But unfortunately, he didn't back up with any kind of research to support that. But I would like to tell my worthy opponent that as per the National Center for Health Research in the US, the risk factors for aggressive behavior lies somewhere else, not at video games, not at because of violent video games. The reason for aggressive behavior is because of racism and ethnic hatred, psychiatric disorders, adverse and social environmental factors, and more importantly, easy access to guns and other lethal weapons. So the problem lies in the gun control, not in video games. And these are the fundamental causes. Blaming the killing and aggressive behavior on video games distracts the governments and legislators to focus on these fundamental causes. And in the end, my worthy opponent also said that it's substantially the video game should be substantially reduced, and that is what we are also urging the House to support. It should be substantially reduced, not banned.
Thank you. We'll have 30 seconds for the judges to mark the ballots, please. Thank you. We'll have the rebuttal speaker from the proposition team, Toastmaster Nisha. Nisha, please say, I love debates.
I love debates.
You're audible and visible. Your time starts now.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. The motion for today's debate is violent video games must be banned. We, on this side of the House, strongly believe that banning violent video games is an urgent need of the hour. The first reason that we are opposing this motion is it is a common sense that violent video games cannot do any good to the society. Children as well as adults have many avenues to channelize their energies for entertainment purposes as well. We are all responsible citizens, and it is our moral duty to not only protect the generation of today, but the generation of tomorrow. My worthy opponent states that parents are very satisfied with children playing video games and violent video games, but we beg to differ. Most parents increasingly are stressed about children playing video games, let alone violent video games, which has adverse psychological effects on children. Children instead can play other concentration games to entertain themselves, which perhaps like mindfulness, yoga, meditation, which has seen countless positive effects on not only young children, but old alike. Strategic games like chess, Chinese checkers, and physical games like cricket, football, etc. improve strategy skills. Teamwork games. There are several teamwork games like cricket, football, volleyball, and leadership, which teaches children about leadership and teamwork. Why are violent games required for that? We strongly think that it only leads to hyperactivity and in children and adults alike. Children get so addicted to these games that they lose track of place and time. They get so involved in winning the games that they totally lose sense of time. Just try calling your child while playing a video game and see if he or she responds positively in the first call, let alone violent video games, as they are more and more addictive and aggressive, and children spend hours and hours together just trying to play and win games and extra points. She's provided some statistics about how violent video games does not lead to violence, which is totally untrue. In fact, there are many examples. Put yourself in the shoes of those families who've lost their dear children and young ones because of the effect of violent video games. A 14-year-old child from an affluent family in Ukraine called his friend to play a video game, which led in a heated argument. And the boy, he was decapitated and he was severely stabbed about 27 times. A 21-year-old very healthy boy participating in a very popular violent video game in a tournament collapsed out of heart attack because of the tremendous stress due to the pressure of the tournament. A Chinese boy died because of playing violent video game. He decided to jump to a deck from a 4th floor flat to see if he could survive like the characters of his favorite video game. There are several other cases such as this. Has human life become so cheap?
Thank you. We'll have 30 seconds for the judges to mark the ballots, please. Thank you. We'll have a closing speaker from the opposition team, Toastmaster Rashmi. Please unmute and repeat, I love debates.
I love debates.
Thank you. You're audible and visible. Your time starts now.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. As my team reiterated, we stand with the notion that there is absolutely no need of banning video games which has violence and warfare. It just have to be age appropriate. Just the same way we filter TV content, internet content, and just like write book for the right age. And as my teammate has rightly stated, the behavior due to violent video games, it doesn't seep into the real life. Violent crimes committed in the world are hardly because of video games. Ever since human history, we have fought battles when even the notion of video was beyond our dreams. And video games with violence or warfare is not about killing, it is about survival. It is a simulation of real life except for the bloodshed. How to maximize your chances with limited number of resources, how to be a team player, how to strategize, plan, how to follow, how to be a leader, and how to take decisions under pressure. After all, life is always about survival of the fittest. And gamers get an opportunity to do something larger than life on a virtual world, which would never be possible in a real life. It is a stress buster. And addiction is not a reason to ban video games. Facebook, Instagram, and even sugar is more addictive. It is always about self-discipline and finding the right balance. And if you consider violence should be a benchmark to ban series, then please ban Game of Thrones first, because that is the series with extreme violence with wide world fan base. Hence, with that, we reiterate that it is all about survival and not killing, and we strongly stand against the notion that violent video games should be banned. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll have 30 seconds for the judges to mark the ballots, please. Thank you. We will have the closing speaker from the proposition team, Toastmaster Kaja. Toastmaster Kaja, please unmute and say, I love debates.
I love debates.
Thank you. You're audible and visible, and your time starts now.
Good evening to fellow Toastmasters and judges. Banning violent video games does more good than bad to the society. People are losing their lives due to these games, and many young children are getting influenced and brainwashed to carry out violence. Conflicts and war led to a lot of violence and bloodshed, and video games promote this kind of violence. In today's world, people want to live in a peaceful society where violence is not encouraged or influenced in any form, even if it's for entertainment purpose. Playing violent video games can also lead to a significant increase in health-related problems, issues within family, isolation from family, friends, and studies have also shown that people who play violent video games have become more aggressive in their behavior. Playing violent video games has also led to adults and children to get exposed to cyberbullying, self-harm, and suicides among children have increased at an alarming rate. And banning violent video games can only be the effective solution to stop them. Most children or young adults who play these violent video games are not mature enough to understand the real life situations differ from those depicted in the games. Not only violent video games is a bad influence, they're also a waste of time because people who play them, they get no useful knowledge. And there are also other forms of entertainment which young children can make use of and channel their energy to something which is more productive, like yoga, sports, crosswords, or even puzzles. So to conclude, violent games must be banned as negative impacts outweigh the positive. Banning these type of violent games can reduce violence and violent behavior among young adults, especially children below the age of 18. Me and my fellow group members support the banning of video games, and as a responsible citizens, it is our duty to make sure that the world we live in is more peaceful, and violent video games promote violence and behavior which is seen as a threat to our world peace and the future generations. Thank you.
Thank you. While we wait for the judges to finalize all their ballots, I'll be sharing the participation certificates for these debaters. Please join me in giving them a thundering virtual applause. Toastmaster Manish, Toastmaster Nisha, Toastmaster Kaja, Toastmaster Dr. Devinder, Toastmaster Mohammad Rashid, and Toastmaster Rashmi. A big round of applause to all our participants. And as we come to the end of the debate session, I would like to again remind all the participants and the members of DTC, we will be announcing the winning teams of both these contests. And also we'll be announcing the top 3 debaters who are going to be representing Dubai Toastmasters Club in the area debate contest on the 5th of November. Thank you very much for all your support. And now we are going to have a special impromptu table topic session. For that, I would request Toastmaster Mufasa to please conduct the table topic sessions for you. Over to you, Toastmaster Mufasa.
Thank you, TM Ramesh. Today my role is the table topic master. When I think about table topic master, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. So just before starting or shooting the question, I just wanted to tell you what is table topic. when I think about the definition or meaning of the table topic, I just figure out that table topic is a question that is a correct question or appropriate question that is asked in at inappropriate situation. So for this table topic, both the guests and the members can participate. You have to speak on the topic that I'm going to ask you. The time limit is 1 to 2 minutes. You have to speak at least for 1 minute, and you have to speak up to 2 minutes and 30 seconds to qualify for the best table topic master award. Before I shoot the question, I just wanted to tell you what or how to speak on this topic. When the question is asked to you, you can just relate that to your personal or own story. Just you can talk about your emotion, experience, idea, whatever it is related to you, personal yourself. This will do better to win the award. And if you think that this topic is not related to your personal life, or you don't have any idea about the topic, just think of a statement which is related to that topic and then talk about that statement. So which will help you also. The second question, the second idea or second point is when you are in a Toastmaster meeting, just think of or just have some idea about the theme of the day, because the table topic will be related to the theme of the day many times, not all the time. And the third point is when you're having any questions, when the question is asked to you, immediate one idea will pop up in your mind, and then you think, no, I will do better and I will give a greater idea. Don't do that. The first small idea that is popping up your mind, talk about that. That will lead you to a best speech. So I'll ask my first question to TM Sibi. TM Sibi, your question is, what is that one animal?
Mention the timing for them, please. Mention the timing for them, please.
1 to 2 minutes. You have to speak at least for 1 minute, and you have to speak up to 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So the question for Sibi is, what is that one animal you would relate yourself to and why? Mr. Sibi?
I think he already left CB.
Sibi already left. Okay, I'll pass this question to TM Alifia.
Hi, sorry, I'm actually just eating dinner. Excuse me for today.
TM Alifia, should I ask you the question once again?
Toastmaster Alifia, I think she has a lot of noise.
She's out of country.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe I will ask to, I'll pick one person from guest. Is it okay, TM Devi?
Yes, you can.
I don't know how to do.
We have
Yes, you
Masha
can. Yeah,
on-
go ahead.
Okay, I'll call upon Maja, guest Maja.
Maya.
Hi, guys.
Hi, yeah. So you got my
So
question,
this is
yeah?
up again for table topics. So what was the question? Was with which animal I'm? How was the question? Can you please repeat it?
You would relate yourself. What animal you would relate yourself to and why?
Okay. With which animal I would relate myself? I can relate myself with so many animals basically, because it depends of my personality. Sometimes I'm introvert and sometimes I'm extrovert. So sometimes I can relate myself to a cat. Basically, sometimes can relate myself to a dog, for example. First of all, for the cats, they're very withdrawn to themselves, and they like to spend their time lots of by themselves, and they want to enjoy. Basically, fun fact, the cats are sleeping around like 18 hours per day, and they don't want to be approached to where they don't want, or they want to be cuddled when they want. But from another side, in another days, like for example, when I'm more as an extrovert, I would relate myself to a dog because the dogs are really outgoing. They like to go for walks. They like to interact with people. They like to interact with children. They are very playful, and they like to, for example, be with lots of humans and to play with them. And they're very funny. They're goofy and hilarious, basically. So if I would choose in one of the better days, I would say that my personality is more like a dog. But when there is days like when I'm moody, I would say that I can relate myself as a cat, basically.
Yeah, great idea. The second question is to Imalka, just Imalka. If you could tell your younger self one advice, what it would be and why? Imalka?
Hi, am I audible? I'm audible now?
Yes.
Okay, can you repeat it? Yeah, can you repeat it again?
If you could tell your younger self one advice, what it would be and why?
Okay, as the younger, we need to, I think we need to search always the innovation things. As a younger, I advise as soon as possible, we need to try to make it the different pay, smart pay, like that. And this is that actually advice, because we have now, we can develop technology, and the youngest can think 360 degree. Then it will be the youngest need to it's better to think the different things to do in a smart way. Yeah, that's it. Over to you.
Yes, thank you. But we have more time. That is the next would be Arman. Arman, to you, the question is collaboration or competition? Collaboration or competition? Arman?
You're on mute.
Which one you?
Arman?
Collaboration or competition?
Yeah, pardon me. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, thank you for the question. I'll go for the collaboration, because collaboration presents in overall the better results. In collaborative manner, the groups may achieve the better performance compared to competitiveness. But on the other hand, to be competitive, it means the improvements in many areas that we may talk about. So at the end, so I'll go for the collaboration between among people and among groups. As an example, I would like to say it's the European Union as being a collaboration economically, financially, and monetary policy terms. So it may attain better results compared to other markets. Thank you.
Okay. Can I check with PM Salih? Do I have more time? Can I pick one more person?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you can tell the judge come back.
Okay. So the next person would be DTM Ramesh. DTM Ramesh, I am going to give you a statement. Keep your friends close and your enemies even closer. DTM Ramesh.
Thank you very much, Table Topic Master Mafasa. I totally agree with the statement, keep your friends close and your enemies even closer. The reason why I would want to keep my enemies closer is my friends would be much more open to me in whatever they want to communicate with me. But my enemies will be much more withholding. They are not going to be much more open to me. And I believe the key aspect of all human relationship is communication. So you would want to communicate with everybody, be it with your friends or with your enemies. To enable the ease of communication between the enemies and you have to keep them closer. And the second aspect why you would want to keep your enemies closer is you don't need to worry about what your friends are up to. They will always be there to help you and supporting you. You need to be knowing what your enemies are up to so that you can be prepared how we are going to deal with them. So that is the second reason why I believe you have to keep your enemies even more closest, because you can watch over them and make sure you can handle whatever hurdles they are going to put across in front of you. So I'm totally for this statement, keep your friends close and keep your enemies even closer. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you. That was excellent. The next person would be Sabil. Sabil, to you, one more statement. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Picture is worth 1,000 words.
Could you repeat that question, please?
A picture is worth 1,000 words.
Okay.
Picture is worth 1,000.
A picture is worth 1,000 words. Yes, of course. It's when you see a picture, it's up to your imagination. So when we, a picture can convey more than words. For example, a picture, there are a lot of things it conveys. And at the same time, if you're talking something to someone, sometimes it may have a single or a single thing, a single meaning may convey. But on the other hand, a picture is up to your imagination, and a person to person it may be different. And at the same time, sometimes when you talk about a picture, we can imagine and we can just elaborate. It's up to our previous knowledge and person to person intellectual ability. So that's why the picture worth more than words. Over to you.
Thank you, Sati. CM Salih, do I still have time?
I think we are out of time.
Okay.
We are out of time, Toastmaster Mafaza.
Okay.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you. I would now request our Chief Judge, DTM Soumya, to announce the results.
Thank you so much, DTM Ramesh. I think it was a very well fought debate, very interesting. And I love the way all of you had come so well prepared. Now to announce the results, debate 1, the winning team is Team B, Team Against. The winners of debate 2 are Team D, once again, the against team. It looks like these debaters love to go against everything. And now the 3 debaters who will be representing Dubai Toastmasters at the next level are in any order, not announcing it in any particular order. The team will be made up of Toastmaster Divi, Toastmaster Minesh, and Toastmaster Devinder. So congratulations, debaters, and back to you, DTM Ramesh.
Thank you very much, DTM Soumya, for that efficiently run judging panel. Thank you, friends, and wish all the participants for a fantastic debate. Thank you very much for the fantastic debate today. And I'm wishing all the very best for the team which is going to represent Dubai Toastmasters Club in the area contest. All the best, very best to you. And over to our president. Toastmaster Saga, please.
Thank you, DTM Ramesh, for a wonderful session. Wow, congratulations to all the winners and to all the participants. It was a great meeting. I have seen a lot of new members taken today the roles in debate contest. Especially congratulations to them, as there were a lot of new members. It was their first time they were having debate contest. So congratulations to all of them. Thank you to all the role players, silent role players, Toastmaster Saleh, Sabil, and our chief judge, DTM Soumya, for accepting our last minute invitations, and other judges also. Thank you so much for being with us and being too supportive to us. Thank you. So now I can see a lot of happy faces after the results. So it's good to see happy faces. So I will be sharing some other informations and declarations. Let me share my screen. Give me a thumbs up, Saleh, if you can see my screen. Thank you. We did not get the time to launch our best table topic speaker. So as we were running out of time.
We can launch now if you want.
Yes. So Toastmaster Devi, just can you launch? All the participants, role players, members can vote for the best table topic speakers.
It's launched. And I'm getting responses.
Still you can see my screen, or?
No, not.
No, not. Okay. Just give me a second.
Okay, we've just got one person who's voted. So can the others also vote, please, for the best table topics?
Not received the link.
Divi, it went off. You need to relaunch it. It went off.
Oh.
I don't always, I thought.
Sagar, you can continue in the meantime.
Okay, so I will be announcing best table topic speaker at the end. I think you can see my screen now, right? Toastmaster Saleh? Thank you. Congratulations, Toastmaster Devi, for completing level 5. Now you can unmute everyone and you can say thanks. Toastmaster Saleh for completing level 2. Congratulations, Saleh.
Congratulations.
Finally, you complete level 2 now. I hope you will get the crown award also. Congratulations, Toastmaster Gautam Kumar, for completing level 1. Great achievement. Wow, Toastmaster Misha, our new member, also completed level 1. Congratulations, Toastmaster Misha. This is our new member recently joined, Toastmaster Arman. Welcome to our club. So we will be announcing a good thing for us, for all the members, that we will be having our hybrid meeting now in regular meetings. So our next meeting is on 8th of November, and that will be hybrid, which will be conducted by Toastmaster Misha, our TMOD, and the theme is Wanderlust. So we are waiting for this amazing meeting and requesting every member to be present physically if possible. And the venue and location will be shared very soon. So tomorrow we'll be having a Google share form because we have selected 2 venues. So according to the majority of that voting, we will be finalizing the final venue, which will be shared after the results. Now we are having a division B together with division B and I, humorous speech contest workshop, which will be held tomorrow. And our MC is from our club only, our VP Education, Toastmaster Devi. So requesting everyone to participate in that, and you will get a lot of information from our DTM trainer, Dr. Mirzaman. And believe me, humorous speech contest is one of the excitement, full of entertaining. So requesting all the new members, especially, to attend this workshop. So that's it from our side. I officially declare the meeting closed. But before that, we have the results, Devi, or you are mute.
I WhatsApped you, Sagar.
Wow, it's a tie-up between our DTM Ramesh and our guest Maya. Congratulations to both of you. Toastmaster Maya, you are always saying that always we are choosing you as a table topic speaker. So become a member of our club. We will choose you as a speaker and evaluator also.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. I officially declare the meeting 693 to be closed. And now you can unmute and open your video cameras to congratulate all the winners today. Thank you. Thank you, DTM Ramesh, once again.